Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of Manic... Wait. Alright, guys, thanks for tuning in. This is the Sabotage Show, and I'm your saboteur, the moderately annoyed Canadian here. And I have a very special guest with me tonight, and it is my 50th episode. And I'd like to welcome James to the show. James, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing good, you son of a bitch.
I am a son of a bitch, but you know what? I am glad to be back on Manic. I got a lot of catching up to do. I have missed a lot of blogs and videos and podcasts.
Most of them have been about why you're a son of a bitch.
Yeah, an entire forum devoted to that.
Yeah.
So what is new with you?
Well, I mean, I'm here today mainly to talk about, of course, Manic Expression Creative Chaos.
Yeah.
The long-delayed but finally here documentary about our beloved site.
Yep. And can you tell me exactly when this Creative Chaos you speak of will be airing?
It will be available on the site on Friday, January 24th.
That is awesome. And how long is this taking you to work on?
I've been trying to figure that out because I've been looking for when the announcement video that I did when I first mentioned it, and I want to say it was April or May of 2012.
Yeah.
That I first brought this up.
Yeah.
Because everybody, right away, everybody wanted to know what our 1-year anniversary event would be.
Yeah.
And everybody wanted to do basically a movie like they would do on That Guy with the Glasses, and I wasn't comfortable with that. I said I don't want to come off like we're trying to rip them off and we're trying to do what they do. So for me, as soon as I got really interested just in how people would put their shows together and what went into writing a blog, and I wanted to know about the people that were sort of making up this community. So I just thought, well, what if we did a documentary?
Yeah. I mean, and for a lot of these people, especially me, I mean, coming from pretty much nothing when it comes to doing any kind of videos on the internet or anything like that, and to actually be given an opportunity to get together with a bunch of people that are, it's like I said before, it's like a family, and to be able to put these people together in this documentary, it's going to mean a lot. And if it doesn't mean anything else to the rest of the world, that fuck them, because it means a lot to us. It really does, right?
Yeah, well, I could honestly say for me, it's pretty much the proudest thing that I've ever done creatively when I look at it.
Yeah.
It's the thing that I'm most proud of.
Definitely.
And, it is something that it's hard for me to look at it, because I've seen it evolve, so it's not like I'm going into it cold.
Yeah.
Which I almost kind of regret. I almost kind of wish that I could just one day have it sent to me and go, oh wow, and just see it.
Yeah.
But it was, Decker did a great job directing it and putting the questions out to the community and editing 8 hours of footage down to 90 minutes. And I had fun doing working with Fusinator and Y-Boy and Tim Deanna, sort of, taking that 90 minutes and building upon it and making it a movie.
Yeah. And even though it's only 90 minutes, the amount of work that has gone into this thing, like, I only had to shoot a couple of short, Q&A things, and it was, that was tough, because it really, this I found, and when you watch it, you see the emotion a lot of people have, and more than just a character that they might play in a video, or, something they want to say about video games or movies or whatever their interests are. This really pulls out the person in these characters we see, like, almost every day.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I'm glad, I'm glad Becker did was, I'm sure that there probably was a lot of stuff in the interviews that was, oh, I love this one video game, or oh, I love this one movie.
Yeah.
But Decker was like, okay, we know that because we read your blogs and we see your videos. We want to know about you.
Yeah.
And he kept it really to that. And you know, I mean, because really when it came time to do it, putting in the clips and showing off what everybody does, you already get what they love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You get their love for movies and comics and video games and all that.
Yeah.
So I know that when I saw the rough cut,
mm-hmm.
you know, which was nothing but interviews. It was just a huge 90-minute block of interviews.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there were a couple moments where I got a little choked up.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew as soon as I saw it that it was already really strong.
Yeah, and for those of you that haven't actually seen this or will be seeing it soon, there's definitely a couple of interviews you'll see with Patricia, especially. I mean, you can tell there's passion. She's very passionate about what she does. We know this already, but watch her portion of this because it is really intense. It's actually really great. Yeah.
I thought it's Patricia, you know, and Jockerly, you know, and Ox Bigley gave an interview. I mean, it's a good mix too because there's also the interviews from people like Lady Dandy, which is just kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, it's not like the, you know, it's funny because when Decker and I went to Metacon to talk about Creative Chaos, he went ahead and he edited like a mini movie to bring with it, and we didn't have much other than a rough cut, and he, you know, the way that he had it set up was he used the opening interview with me is actually what in the final cut is the last part of the interview where I'm talking about the community and I'm talking about it and I'm really kind of getting emotional. Yeah. And he's got this like, you know, soft piano music playing under it. And I looked at him, I'm like, dude, we're like 10 seconds into this thing. We have not earned this. We've got to, you know, if this is the first 10 seconds, everybody's going to go, fuck this. I can't sit through this. So the first thing I said when I came on board to kind of do some creative stuff with it was we gotta pump some energy into this thing. Yeah. You know, and that's where I started looking and listening to a lot of the Larissa Stowe music, which she was incredibly generous allowing us to use. You know, I talked to her agent and she was just like, whatever you want. Yeah. And you know, looking for stuff that kind of broke up the interviews, little like mini, almost like short films within the film, which Decker did one, Time Paradox did one, and T-Crew let us use one of her poems. You know, just little things that sort of broke it up and it made it feel a little bit more like it had some energy to it.
Yeah. Or it's 90 minutes of people just talking about themselves.
Yeah, people who, you know, I mean, because the thing too is, I mean, and this was what I told Decker was, I said, I don't want this to come off like a commercial.
Yeah.
I want this to come off like people who have no idea who we are and no interest in this subject whatsoever.
But develop an attachment.
Yeah, we'll be interested in this. Because, I mean, I know one of the ways that I got interested in this is that, you know, there's times when I'll be flipping through Netflix and I'll stumble upon some documentary that no one's ever heard of.
Yep.
And I'll click it on and it's about something that I know nothing about, but I'll be really invested for, you know, an hour and a half.
It's one of those ones that you're curious as to see what it's about, and like you said, even if it's something that doesn't interest you at all, it actually might pull you in a little bit.
And I, you know, I knew. I mean, the thing too was, you know, I knew a lot of people's backstories because they would come to me privately and talk to me about things, and so there were. I thought, man, if people will be honest when they do their interviews, we'll have a really, you know, intense movie.
Yep.
And fortunately, most everybody was. I mean, there's definitely a few people who either didn't do interviews or who kind of just kept it light and fluffy when they really could have gone and talked about some really intense stuff. But I mean, like I said, it really has a good balance to where just when it starts to get a little bit too dark, somebody comes along and like DVD Grouch.
Yeah.
Who gave a really fun interview, and or Breck Club, who gave a really fun interview, and it lightens it up.
Yeah, and you need that. You definitely need something to break away from the emotional shit. I didn't mean shit. I don't mean like Yeah, let's just play a little piano there.
Yeah, otherwise it's a downer.
Yeah,
and that's where I wanted it to be. I mean, that's why actually I like the one thing in the movie that I would say I'm the proudest of is Creepy's interview.
Yeah, that's pretty intense. And I really like the editing, especially that they showed, especially with Creepy and Decker.
Yeah, that was my.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to do. I mean, the thing about Creepy's interview is. He ignored every question that Decker asked, ignored Decker's directions entirely,
and
just filmed this 5-minute uninterrupted monologue.
Yep.
Which we were looking at going, what do we do with this?
Yeah.
I have no idea what to do with this.
That's just what he's like, though, right?
Huh?
That's just what he's like.
That's exactly
that's exactly what he's like. So that if you're watching this and you want to know, that's exactly what Creepy's like.
And I knew that that either we were going to have to just cut it, or it was going to have to be the best thing in the movie.
Yeah.
And so getting Y-Boy involved to do like a really creative thing, and getting Creepy's boyfriend Kurt to come in and do an interview that could kind of play at the same time. Kind of made that a much like with the other stuff, like the little mini short films within it, made it almost like a little short film unto itself.
It really did. Yeah.
You could have just posted that by itself and had a really interesting 6-minute video.
Definitely. Yeah. So, what are your expectations from this film?
Riches.
I like money.
Riches, my wildest dreams.
We've had this conversation before.
Yeah.
I'm going to see 0% of this.
I would like. I mean, my hope is that this movie. I mean, I'm hoping that we can sell it, that it can become something that maybe does some film festivals and people can eventually see it on Netflix and things like that. But my if nothing else, I want this to become kind of a calling card for the site, where when we go on to do things like the animated movie, and people are like, well, why the hell should we, invest anything in the site? We can hand them the DVD of Creative Chaos and say, this is why.
Yeah.
And, I have some bigger names that I would like to talk to about doing some small stuff for the animated movie, and it would be nice to be able to actually, along with the script, send them the DVD, Creative Chaos, and say, this is what we've done, this is what we're all about. And, I mean, it's funny because it's like, I didn't want it to be a commercial, but in some way it's the greatest commercial for us that could ever have.
Yeah.
And I was even, I was talking to a bunch of the members on Digression Session this weekend, and I said, if there had been somebody who had done an interview where they said, everybody at Manic Expression are a bunch of fucking cocksuckers, and I hate them so much, and they're so full of their own shit, and and they just...
You know what? I only said that once. You remember.
We would have absolutely included it. We would have absolutely included it as the contrasting point of view. But nobody had that to say. Mm-hmm. So, I'm already prepared for the people who might come out and say, well, they're up their own ass.
Yeah.
By just basically saying, look, we didn't cut the bad stuff out.
Yeah.
It's not like we sat there and cut out the dark, sordid history that went on behind the scenes. This is what everybody honestly thinks.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, later on, when everybody is suing everybody else for, images being used in the movies, and you made money off of my music, you bastard, or whatever. Then we'll make the sequel, and everybody can hate each other in that.
The sequel.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's gonna be a disaster for sure.
Oh yeah.
I guarantee you, fucking guarantee you, Brett Club's gonna be on a bender in 2 years. He's gonna be face deep in some hooker's vagina, full of cocaine. I can't wait.
The hooker's vagina is going to be full of cocaine, or Brett Club will be full of cocaine?
Well, the hooker's vagina. And his head's going to be in there.
So that's how it will become... Brett Club will become full of the cocaine through the hooker's vagina.
Here's hoping. He's looking forward to it.
Yeah. How to him.
Yeah. Multi-millionaire Brett Club. He'll own 1,000 copies of Breakfast Club on Blu-ray.
And that's all he ever wanted.
Yeah, that's all he ever wanted. And cocaine. And hookers.
And a hooker's vagina.
What are you going to do with all your money?
Well, I was planning on using it to get some spyware that I could put on all of your computers through the site, and get your credit card numbers and stuff.
Oh, you don't want my credit card number. What do you mean I owe money? Once I'm a millionaire, I'm going to use all that money just to find you guys and kill you.
No. Well, at least I have sweet release to look forward to then.
Yeah. Wait a minute, I shouldn't say that. This is going online. Oh, great. YouTube.
Oh, we were talking about how apparently we have a really big following in Afghanistan.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why, but I said we should put up an ad on the front page for Al Qaeda. One man's freedom fighter, or one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter.
Oh.
Somebody said I hate to interrupt you guys, but there's a drone flying over my house, so we should cut this short. But yeah, hopefully all of our brothers in Al Qaeda will see Creative Chaos and they'll be quite happy with it.
I hope they're watching this right now. I just want to say that I respect your belief structure, and Canada will not harm you. Again. But the Americans, you guys are different.
Well, yeah, we're dicks.
Yeah. Bunch of pricks. No, but no, really, James, I'm really looking forward to this, and happy to be a part of it. Again, thank you for that.
Well, we were glad that you could be a part of it too, because it really was one of those interviews that was a lot of fun for Fusinator and I to put together.
That's cool. Cool. How's he doing, by the way?
I hear that he's trying to marry his Japanese body pillow.
Is he rich and we don't know it?
Huh?
That sounds like somebody with a lot of money and very eccentric would do.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think he's just
crazy.
Body pillows.
What if he watches this? He's gonna hear all about it.
Yeah. Well.
No. Well. Yeah. Wow. It's been so long. I've been off the site for too long. This is my opportunity to say hi to everybody I've been missing. I'd like to start off by saying hi to you, James.
Hello.
And Mark, of course. Oh, fuck, man. Mark's going to be so pissed off at me.
What did you do with Mark?
I haven't talked to the guy. He's like he's one of my best friends now. Honestly.
Oh, Mark's a great guy.
Yeah. And then Creepy's going to be so mad at me because I haven't been, sending him those pictures I used to send him.
What?
Nothing. Who else is going to be mad? Fusinator probably not so mad because he comes across as like a little stoner. He probably forgot about me already. He's like, Sabotage what?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's who else is going to be upset? Decker, kind of in his own head. You know, he won't really care. He'll be like, who? Let's see here. Oh, there's, of course, there's Tim Deanna. I really like that guy.
Yeah.
Breck Club. And what's his name? Ryan McCarthy? McCarthy?
Yeah, Ryan's good.
I really like Ryan. He's so quiet, though.
Yeah, I remember doing a podcast where he was on it, and I didn't know it.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea, because I don't think he said a word the entire time.
No, I pissed him off a couple of times. Oh, man, I've done some really bad things. When we were doing digression session, he wasn't saying anything. I guess he had his microphone on mute. And so I started doing my impression of Ryan. And then finally he turned on his microphone. Oh, he was pissed. He's like, I don't sound like that. Yes, you do. But anyway, my reasoning for apologizing to Ryan is because, and I'm going to let the cat out of the bag here, I actually pulled his Secret Santa, and I didn't get him anything for Christmas.
Oh.
And I actually felt really bad. Believe it or not, I've been thinking about that since that time, but I haven't been able to get on the site. So, Ryan, this is my Christmas gift to you. I'm flashing the camera right now.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Holy shit, am I ever white. Anyway, let's get back to the important stuff.
Oh, yeah. What was that?
Face deep in a hooker's vagina, covered in cocaine.
It's the simple things, you know?
It's the simple things. That'll keep him happy. But, so I'm looking forward to the release of this. I know I've seen it before. I've watched it, but it's one of those accomplishments in life that not everybody can say they've done.
Yeah.
To be able to do it, to be on a documentary, or in any way be a part of it. Like Fusionator, does he do an interview on this thing?
Yeah, he does an interview. His was the, well, I don't want to spoil it, but there's a funny little bit in his interview that we had a lot of fun putting together. It involves swearing.
I still haven't seen the final cut, so I'm probably watching the old one still.
The final cut.
Yeah. Did I lose you, James?
No, I'm still here. I was just listening to the vacuum cleaner. Whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah, what is that? I hear that too.
Mm.
So what are your goals for after this thing gets released?
Well, we're already putting the DVD together.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that everybody will give us money for that. We're doing it. We're going to do it all ourselves. So we're hoping to sell it really cheap, at least to the members.
Yeah.
Other than postage and the cost of the DVDs and stuff, it's not like it's really costing us anything.
No.
So $50 a piece, I think is fine. But no, I mean, the DVD and the one thing that I have to ask everybody to do is the day it comes out, tweet this fucking thing everywhere. Put it on your Facebook page. Put it everywhere.
James, I have 30 people on my Twitter account. 28 of those people are myself with other names. I will buy 2 copies.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to. Get your parents to buy them. Get your grandma and your second cousin that you fucked around with that one time at that family picnic.
Fuck the second cousin. That was my first cousin. Yes, I will make sure that I'm tweeting it, and make sure you guys are tweeting it out there too, because this is a big deal to everybody on the site. This isn't just for James, this isn't just for Fusionator, this is for everybody that was involved in the documentary, everybody that's involved in the site that cares about what they're doing, what their work is, because this could change everything. So
well, that's kind of how I see it. I really do see this when this comes out as the beginning of phase 2.
Yeah,
because it's regardless of where it goes or what it is, what it becomes, it is a feature-length film.
Yeah.
And for a site like us to pull that off is a really big deal. And 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 the thing that I'm actually really proud of when I look at it is the fact that it cost nothing.
Yeah.
That everybody who did it, did the music, did the editing, everybody from start to finish, just did it because they wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And and it's the sort of thing where I can see the critics saying, well, it's everybody's on their webcams and every webcam looks different, and and all that. That's what the internet is, though.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is really interesting. And I'm baffled that nobody has ever done a documentary like this that's about the internet. Because it's not just about manic expression. It's about, the times we live in. And how people choose to express themselves. And this could be a documentary about YouTube or Facebook or, something like that. And, I'm really, like I said, I'm really kind of baffled that nobody has ever thought to do this before. Because this is, it's funny when you've got, like, the cool girls in school used to not, they wouldn't know anything about a computer. Now the cool girls have their own web shows. Yeah,
that's true.
And, everybody, whether you're, a geek or whether you're, a jock or black or white or gay or straight, man, woman, doesn't matter. Everybody is online. Yeah. And everybody is connected this way. And so the fact that nobody's ever really looked at this, like the way people do these shows and blogs and stuff, why people do them, I just, I thought, and I do think Manic Expression is absolutely the best site to examine that. Because it shows that you don't have to be an asshole when you do these things. And you don't have to, bully people and, just talk shit.
No, that's exactly true. That's exactly true. And I'm hoping that even with this video, or this movie, you can get that kind of point across. Anyway, here's hoping. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things that there is that moment towards the end where it kind of backs away from Manic Expression and it looks at the phenomenon of cyberbullying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's one of those things where even as we were putting it together, when we're watching it, I still can't fully grasp why anybody would ever be that cruel.
Yeah.
And other than the fact that they're just, because I know a lot of people have said, people have always been this way. It's just now we have Twitter. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's true. I think that for a lot of people, the internet, they see it as a chance to just let out the ugliest part of them.
Yeah.
And I've been looking at that and examining that for as long as I've been doing Stop the Hate, and I still don't really fully understand it.
No, neither do I. I think it's something people can hide behind, and whether or not they're truly feeling that anger towards other people, they just feel like they need to try to hurt other people. Mm-hmm. Maybe they're hurt themselves, being bullied themselves in one way or another. I can't tell you. Yeah.
Well, I think too. It's funny because the whole the trend of doing like the angry critic shows.
Yeah.
I think that the funny thing is that the best guys who do that, the guys like the angry video game nerd or the nostalgia critic, they're playing a character and they're playing a part.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's the people who do it where they're just ranting and raving, but they don't understand that it's supposed to be a joke. And they're supposed that the other guys who do it far better than them get that it's a joke. And so it's sort of like it's a thing that sort of feeds upon itself. These guys are satirizing the angry online people, and then the angry online people use them to justify being angry online people.
That it's okay to just shit on other people for whatever reason, right? Of course, you know what? The thing is I would love to meet these motherfuckers that do that. I would like to meet these motherfucking shitheads that live in their parents' basement. I'm not even kidding. I would love to meet them and say, how fucking tough are you now?
Yeah.
Come up to me and say that right now. Because these little shitheads.
I said that to one of them once, really early on, before I even started blogging. It was something on YouTube where, I said that. I said, if you said that to my face, I would beat the shit out of you. Which is why you wouldn't say it to my face.
No. How often do you go out in the street, James, and have somebody say something to you? Probably not. No. And it's just, I'd rather that than on the fucking internet.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of, and this used to happen all the time.
Yeah.
And maybe, I don't know if that says something about me, but I used to just, you'd be walking down the street, and a car would zoom by
and with like a bunch of fag.
Yeah. Would somebody just yell out the window, faggot?
It's like, but I'm not gay, and I don't see what the problem with that would be.
but it's like, I'm sure they're driving by and they're all laughing. Oh, yeah, we got him. It's like, wait, what did you accomplish?
Yeah, exactly.
You called me a faggot, and then as you were driving by at top speed, and how does that make you a tough guy? Mm-hmm. And but I mean, I think that is part of it. It's these people who they want to be tough guys.
Yeah.
They just want to put their ass on the line and actually go out there and risk anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of it, I mean, I as much as I hate to say this, being a nerd, I think it is a little bit of revenge of the nerds, because there are a lot of nerds out there who are just, they see this as their way of, being bullies.
Yeah.
Their way of going out there and bullying. So, and a lot of the time it's, it's some 12-year-old girl.
Yeah.
And, or some gay kid. And, it's just...
Yeah, they get a lot of pent-up anger, and they need some way to release it, I guess. Yeah. Whatever happened to just going outside and throwing fucking snowball at somebody's window?
Well, like I said, I mean, there's we do talk about one specific case of cyberbullying in the movie where after the girl who was being bullied killed herself, one of the bullies said on Facebook, I know that I'm responsible for her killing herself, and I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And...
they're probably not going to feel that way in 5-10 years.
Yeah, but the level of just level of cruelty that you would have to have inside of you to be able to say that.
Yeah.
To not only, I mean, it would have been one thing if she went on there and said, I didn't do anything, stupid bitch killed herself, it's not my fault.
Yeah.
But instead she's like, no, I take responsibility for this, I'm proud of this.
Yeah.
And this was what I was going for.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I know it was sort of a controversial case because that girl was arrested.
Yeah.
For cyber stalking.
Really?
But I don't think there's anything controversial about it. I think she should have been arrested for cyber stalking.
Yeah.
And I think more people should be. I think it's one of those things where, and I know a lot of people will say, well, then, the internet won't be free and everything. No, you won't be free to be a dick.
Exactly.
You won't be free to harass people and stalk people.
Yeah, I don't go online to hurt anybody. This is, in my opinion, it is a privilege. It's not a fucking right. I think parents maybe should be monitoring what their kids are doing more so. Not to say that they can't. Kids are going to be kids. They're going to look at porn. They're going to talk to their friends till 3 o'clock in the morning on Skype or whatever. But I mean, there's a certain point when your kid's out there talking shit about somebody. That's just because they're black or they're gay or whatever. You know what I mean? And it's going to be. Maybe there's a point that they should be looking at it and saying, "Okay, you're banned from fucking using this computer."
There was a thing that a mom did that, again, people gave her shit, but I think it was great, where this mom found out that her daughter was cyberbullying some kid.
Yeah.
And so what she did was she took a picture, posted it on, I think, Instagram, and it's a picture of her daughter holding up a sign that says, I am selling my iPad to raise money for the Cyberbullying Research Center because I have abused my privileges online and bullied somebody.
Yeah. No.
And a lot of people were saying, "Oh, the mom that makes the mom a cyberbully." Like, no, that makes the mom a parent who's calling her daughter out of her shit.
Yeah, apparently parents aren't allowed to be parents anymore. You can't do anything without it being an issue. You know what, James? I know this sounds bad, but I vote we bring back old school bullying. If there's going to be any bullying, I'm tired of this fucking bullshit internet, cyberspace, Facebook bullying. I'm talking about good old fashioned get your ass handed to you, your shoes thrown in a fucking sewer, get a wedgie, get your face thrown in the toilet, and then if you still have the balls, then go online and say something about that person.
Well, have you ever? There's this great video on YouTube where these guys are they're videotaping themselves driving after this other car, and they're basically like, they're tailgating this car and they're trying to knock the car off the road, and they're having a great time. And the car pulls over, and they pull over, and they're saying, "Hey, we're gonna get out, we're gonna kick this guy's ass," and they get out of the car, and the dude gets out of the car in front of them and has a fucking shotgun.
Oh yeah.
And he says, "You get the fuck back in your car and you get out of here." They're like, cool, man, we were doing nothing. And they get in their car and they drive off.
Yeah.
Because they're a bunch of fucking bitches.
Yeah. I'd like to see one-on-one. Yeah. Do the same thing when you're by yourself and not with your friends.
Yeah, I mean, anybody who hides behind a computer or hides behind their car or hides behind, I mean, if you want to see a pussy, see somebody who beats up a single guy while they're surrounded by their friends.
Exactly. That's exactly what a pussy is. It's not any different than it is nowadays going online. And they won't even be on webcam. They won't even be on camera. They'll do it with fucking text.
Yeah. That's the thing I always say about, a lot of people who give our members shit, is they never, they almost never make a video.
Yeah.
They're always like just writing these little comments, and it's like, you know what? Put yourself out there. Make a video so that people can say you're fat, you're ugly, you're, whatever.
Yep.
And and then let's see how you handle that.
Yep.
And they always. It's one of those things where they say, I've heard this over and over again. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We all live in the kitchen now.
Mm-hmm.
It's the year 2014. Everybody's online, and we're only going to become more and more connected that way.
Yeah.
And you have to be online. It's not like you could just go, okay, I'm getting rid of my computer.
Yeah. No.
And we say this in the documentary. It used to be that you would get bullied on the playground, but you would go home.
Yeah.
And you'd be safe there. And now you can't have that. Now you go home and, everybody's writing on your Facebook page that you're a slut, or, they've got something going on Twitter where they're all bullying you. And that just perpetuates, you go back to school the next day and that just perpetuates it and makes it that much worse.
Yeah.
And, it's one of the, I don't understand it the way that I don't understand rape.
Yeah.
Because I've always said about rape, the thing I don't understand it more than anything else is, the guys who will actually brag about it.
Yeah.
And I always think to myself, so basically what you're saying is, you had to force her because she didn't want to fuck you. How is that something to brag about?
Yeah.
It's something to brag about when you say, she couldn't keep her hands off me. It's not something to brag about when you're like, yeah, that bitch didn't want it, but I held her down.
Oh, had it coming, faux show.
Yeah. And
I
then
really
act like they're pimp because they forced somebody to do it, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. And the cyberbullying thing, bullying in general doesn't make sense to me because 9 times out of 10,
even when I was a kid, James, it didn't make any sense to me. And it happens to everybody at one point in their lives. Junior high is the worst because everybody's going through puberty and everybody's emotions are running strong and you don't know what to do. And of course, bullying is going to be pretty big at that point. But even when I was that age, I was never like that. You know what I mean? I was always the guy that would just try to calm everybody down or pull somebody off somebody else. Yeah,
but junior high was definitely the worst.
Definitely the worst.
I don't know what it is about those 3 years.
It's just everybody's going through those changes, like the puberty thing, and everybody's just kind of going through, life change, basically, I think. I think that's what it is anyway.
But I know, having 3 daughters, that I do see that there's there's just a viciousness nowadays in the way that kids treat each other.
Yep.
There's that it is different from when we were kids.
Yep.
Not to sound like an old man or anything, but back in my day.
Yeah. I mean, we're both in our 30s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And didn't you just celebrate your birthday too?
I did.
You're
yeah.
34 now.
34.
You old bastard.
I have white in my beard. So.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm wearing my hat, as you saw earlier in the video feed, but I am going bald.
Ah.
I hate it. I don't know if I'd rather go gray or bald. No, gray, definitely gray.
Yeah.
Oh.
The white hairs don't bother me, but I mean I lucked out because my grandfather told me something when I was little. He said redheaded Walshes never go bald.
Oh, nice.
Anybody else in the family didn't have red hair, lost every one of them. Redheads. My grandfather had red hair, died with a full head of hair. So I'm looking forward to that. Of course, the other side of it is on my mother's side of the family. We also lived to be in our 90s, but we wish we were dead like 20, 30 years earlier.
Yeah, this seems to be the case.
I'll be 90 and cancer-ridden and going, kill me.
Kill me. I'll blame you. It's all James's fault.
But I do remember, being in junior high and kids were assholes, but
Yeah.
I don't know, there was just something that it wasn't like it is now. It wasn't where they're really just, if they can get you to kill yourself, awesome.
Yeah.
They won.
Because it gains some sort of level of popularity in amongst their peers, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know these kids.
Yeah, I don't really understand how that whole thing works. Like if you come to school the day after some kid hangs herself and you high five each other, I don't know how it works, but I do know that girl who did post, I know she killed herself, but I don't give a fuck. She became like the most hated fucking person after that. And
hey, that can't be too good on their self-esteem either.
No. And but it always ends up coming back to the parents, because I know that the parents did an interview saying, well, my little girl wouldn't do that. I think that her Facebook must have been hacked or something.
You know what, James, you got to admit that's one thing that has never changed is the parents.
Yeah.
The parents have always said that. Yeah, my kid would never do that. That's the first thing they always say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm sure your kid is being completely honest with you all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where when I look at, that's something where I can say manic expression completely changed my opinion about where, as a society, we can head. And I know that to some people that might make them roll their eyes, but it's absolutely true, because I went into this thinking that the internet age basically meant the downfall of civilization. That this is what we were going to use this remarkable tool for, was, talking shit about Shia LaBeouf. And and bullying teenagers. But when manic expression came together and I was seeing how it was shaping up, I suddenly I thought to myself, there is a possibility that everything might work out.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that before. It was because of the community that really changed in me, where I said, maybe we're not all doomed.
Yeah.
Maybe there is a way for us to move forward.
Yeah, because I look at Manic, and it's got every age group, from the younger teens to our old asses like, you, me, and Mark, and of course Les, which he's like, what, 21, 22 years old maybe? Yeah. And
internet years, Les is about 178. So
yeah. But I look at us, and yeah, we have our differences of opinion, which is fine. But does it get to the point where we're shit talking each other?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'd be hard to avoid that person if you're leaving comments in the forums. But I really do think that this is a tight knit community of good people.
And I hope that it always stays that way. I mean, if it was a choice between being gigantic financial successes and having 10,000 members but losing that, I'd be fine with saying, okay, we top out at 500 members, and then we never get another member, but we maintain what we've got.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, otherwise we're just any other site.
Yeah. Yeah. And we don't want to be that.
No.
From afar, we look like every other blog form video site, but it's definitely different. You know?
I would say that it's. This is something somebody said to me once, just as business advice. They said maybe I should stop saying that Manic Expression is the greatest community on the web, and I said, "Fuck, I will," because I absolutely believe it. I've yet to see any other site that even attempts to do what we do.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and I don't think any other site would even care to have that title. They don't see it as, well, how's that going to get me more friends on Facebook, or more money, or
advertisements,
and any of that. And for us, that's always been secondary. It's always been, we would like to make a living off of this. But it's really, it would never be at the cost of what we've built.
Yeah, definitely.
But that said, those T-shirts are still for sale, motherfuckers.
Yeah, don't forget to buy our T-shirts, ass clowns. Oh, they're not gonna buy them now, especially mine. Or somebody will buy one and burn it on the internet.
We should have a new T-shirt that says, "Buy this T-shirt, ass clown."
I'm wearing a T-shirt right now, but I don't think I can really read it online. It says if you turn your head this way, you can give me a blowjob. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the shirt we need. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, that'll wrap up the show for this week. James, thanks for being here. Is there anything else you want to say?
I have a huge cock.
He has a huge cock, ladies and gentlemen, and you can check that out on January 24th, 2014, that is. Wow, it's a whole new year. And that's not his cock, sorry, that's Creative Chaos.
No, my cock will be in it, too.
Oh, yes. Well, I assume so. I wouldn't be watching it otherwise. And guys, try to tune in next week where I will be talking to myself more than likely, because I've abandoned everybody else on Manic Expression. Except for James, of course. All right, thanks for being on the show, James.
Thanks for having me.
Bye, everybody. I still don't have a good way to say goodbye. I've been doing this show for like a year now. What do I need?
Like a sign-off.
A sign-off. I need a sign-off. What can I do? How about I just stare at the camera for like 30 seconds like a creep? Hold on, let me try that. And then I'll creepily, I'll wave. Bye, everybody.